Back pain, knee pain, neck pain. Have you ever experienced these after having stress? Hi, my name is Meza, and today I would like to talk to you about stress. Today I'm going to talk to you about what stress is, how it actually affects your body, and there are many different ways to cope with stress in your everyday life. What is actually stress? Some of you may know stress is a chemical in your brain, but that chemical is also considered a hormone called cortisol. When cortisol is released, it makes your body have a feeling of irritability and anxiety, which not very good for some people. What can happen when you feel stressed is you can actually faint from a feeling of increased cortisol in your bloodstream. It's called stress-induced fainting. It does happen with many people. While it is still uncommon, it does still happen. One other sign of stress can be loss of sleep or lack of sleep. This can happen because your body and brain is too worried about what could happen the next day or what you're missing when not doing something, which would keep your mind from relaxing and falling asleep. Some other things that can happen with stress is body pain and mental health. Some of you may know, with stress, mental health can bring depression and even PTSD. PTSD is something that happens when you experience a traumatic event that can do damage to your mind and body for a long period of time. Now that we've talked about that, let's see what it can actually do to affect your body. Stress actually affects your back, which is the most common type of back pain, both severe and minor type of back pain. That is the most common type. The second most common type is hip pain. Hip pain, the reason it's the most common type is because you put more stress on your legs throughout the day than you do anything else. Most of it is your back, though. Joint pain is also considered up there with hip pain. Some other types of uncommon stress-related pain can be caused to your respiratory issues, which can be considered hyperventilation and even lack of breathing. Stress can also do effect to your blood vessels and your heart. One such example would be a heart attack, which is the most common effect of stress on the blood vessels and heart. Stress can also raise your cortisol levels, which could increase rapid weight gain at an alarming rate. Stress can also cause a stroke in most elderly patients and even young adults, which is very stressful in itself if you think about it. Now that we've talked about what stress can actually do to you, let's see how we can actually cope with stress in our everyday lives. Getting hobbies would be one of the various ways of actually coping with stress. When doing something, it could actually help take your mind off of what's causing your issues. Stress could be lack of assignments, missing things on time, having to present something to a class, in my own personal experience. Some people actually find when not doing anything during stress, during their free time, it could actually raise their stress levels, which is not very good. Getting plenty of sleep will also help with stress levels. Sleeping enough at night, such as 8 hours, as most doctors recommend, could help lower your stress in everyday life. More ways of lowering your stress would be to eat healthy, eating your greens, vegetables, carrots, all types of vegetables can help lower the cortisol that's found in your bloodstream and even in your brain. It can also, some of them considered carrots, can also put limiters on the cortisol development in your brain, which is also very interesting. One other type would be connecting with friends and family. When you connect with your friends and family, you can start to get rid of a stressful feeling and start to feel relaxed for most people. This can help lower the cortisol, obviously, from your bloodstream. Fun fact, if you are over the age of 21, please do not drink alcohol while stressed, because you are actually 3 times more likely to get addicted to a substance while under stress. It's not just alcohol, it's any type of substance, whether it's prescription or illegal drugs. The last thing I'm going to talk to you about how to cope would be to actually admit that you have a problem dealing with stress. It's one of the hardest things people have ever come about, is actually admitting they have a problem. It doesn't just apply to stress, it applies to everything else. But stress in this instance would be considered to admit you have a problem and getting actual help that could help you deal with the stress in our everyday lives. Now that I've told you how we can deal with stress in our everyday lives, I would like all of you to please take a few deep breaths with me as I recover the topics that I had talked to you guys about today. I had talked to you about what stress actually is in your body, which is, again, as a recover, it is cortisol that is released from your brain, known as a hormone. I then talked to you about how stress actually affects your body, would be elbow, knee, joint, all types of pain, which is the most common. I then talked about various different methods of coping with the stress in our everyday lives. Eating right, getting enough sleep, you name it, typically helps. As I have finished, I would like all of you to please have a relaxing rest of your day. That's it.